KHABIB Nurmagomedov is well known across the world these days, especially for those who appreciate mixed martial arts. As the longest reigning UFC lightweight champion, Nurmagomedov has made a name for himself. Many consider him to be the greatest fighter in MMA history, and very few could argue otherwise. So, considering all the impressive accomplishments of this highly regarded champion, we will dive into how such a legend came to be in this KHABIB Nurmagomedov Success Story Special. KHABIB Nurmagomedov was born in the Republic of Dagestan, which is part of the Russian Federation, hailing from a rugged mountainous region within a country that was rife with considerable wars over the centuries, along with internal skirmishes with Russia, especially in the late 90s, helped shape Nurmagomedov and his people's rugged ethos. Nurmagomedov's character and fighting prowess was especially forged by his father, who was a former Soviet soldier, a wrestler who received a Master of Sports recognition in wrestling, and who was also a sambo and judo coach that famed throughout Russia. Needless to say, this particular combination of environment and paternal influence created an almost Spartan-like culture that groomed Nurmagomedov into a relentless fighting machine. Being raised in such a way exposed KHABIB Nurmagomedov to the combative sport of wrestling at a very young age, and it was at the ripe young age of 8 that Nurmagomedov would unofficially train under his father's direction, wrestling bears, learning how to grapple, and sparring with other fighters training under his father's tutelage. Once Nurmagomedov turned 12, he would finally begin his formal training in wrestling, then sambo, and finally judo a few years later. When he was growing up, he would not waste time scrolling through a smartphone, getting sucked into social media, or waste away his days watching TV, like most other kids were doing. Nope, while others were playing their Nintendos, Xboxes, and PlayStations, he would be spending his spare time learning, working on his technique, and training. He sacrificed all these niceties, comforts, and distractions to become a better fighter. In September 2008, Nurmagomedov made his professional MMA debut and won 4 fights in less than a month. He won the first Atrium Cup tournament on October 11th after defeating his 3 opponents at the Moscow event. He went undefeated for the next 3 years, defeating 11 of his 12 opponents. One of them was future Bellator Championship challenger Shabulot Shamhalev, who made his M1 global debut with a first-round armbar finish. In 2011, he fought for the Prof C company in 7 fights, winning all of them by TKO or submission. Nurmagomedov's 16-0 record in Russia's and Ukraine's regional circuits piqued the UFC's interest in signing him. Nurmagomedov's father later disclosed in an interview that they have 11 legal lawsuits questioning the authenticity of Nurmagomedov's UFC contract. Nurmagomedov made his UFC debut on January 20, 2012 at UFC on FX1, defeating Kamil Shalaris by submission in the 3rd round. KHABIB then won a unanimous decision over Gleison Tibau at UFC 148 on July 7, 2012. Nurmagomedov's next bout was against Thiago Tavares at UFC on FX. Nurmagomedov won a unanimous decision over Abel Trujillo at UFC 160 on May 25, 2013.
In part 2, we will discuss KHABIB's journey to become a UFC champion, mega fight with Conor McGregor, and his retirement. Before you leave, please subscribe our channel and visit it too.